Hey everyone, I am back again today with another project share, and I'm going to make this one short and sweet. I just finished recording it and it was like 15 minutes long. So I'm just going to do a very quick flip through. If you've been one of my longtime subscribers, you all know how I make my journals, what I use, what I put into it. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. So we'll just start right away with a quick flip. This journal was created for a swap. I don't know if I mentioned that, but over on Facebook, and it was Remains of the Day style journal. And what that is a fabric covered journal with a lot of junk on the inside. I did put some junk, but not a whole lot, because Lori didn't want like the traditional junk, which is fine. But I did add some junk. So it has the wraparound closure, which I absolutely love. I love this style. It measures about 9 by 6, probably a little wider than 6, because the fabric is kind of thick. So wraparound closure. I have seam binding, two colors of seam binding with some vintage lace. And I pieced together 3 different patterns of fabric, which the top is my favorite. I love it so much. I wanted to do the whole cover with that one, but I decided not to, because Remains of the Day is like stitched all different pieces of fabric, like a quilt kind of a thing. Quilt style. So I just cheated here and added some hot glue, because I did this after the fact. I felt like it needed something here, so I just added this really pretty trim, and I got that from Joann's. And this is a vintage doily, and with a button that I sewed all the way through. So this is pretty sturdy. So let's go on the inside. This is was fabric from my stash. It was like kind of a cream color fabric that I added as my backing. Here I stitched a pocket with some vintage eyelet trim, and you can see it's quite wide. So I've got some vintage goodies here in the pocket. I used different papers, some Tim Holtz, some Prima, some Paper Studio throughout this journal, and then magazine pages from Somerset Magazine, the Art Journaling Magazine, and then just other random pages from books I have in my stash. All the ephemera is vintage. It's not digis. It's just from my stash that people have given me, from Alicia Wheeler, from Wanda, and then from Sabine. So you'll see that throughout the journal. Now I will do less talking and more flipping. Vintage bingo card pocket, some craft paper, vintage tag, Prima paper, a lot of stitching in this journal, a lot. This is some sari silk that I stitched, and this is craft deli paper. Some washi tape, vintage newsprint bag, some trim. I've had this in my stash forever. Journaling card. Everything's been coffee dyed, most of it. These were 2 pieces of paper that I stitched together to create one pocket. This is another vintage postcard. I got that at my local flea market. Well, it's not local. I have to drive an hour, but it's worth it. Vintage ledger paper. This came from a book I just got at my library sale, book sale. This is from J9 Scraps. A Daiso envelope that I cut the top portion off and then made a little pocket here. Used my circle punch. Journaling space, different pages from different books that I have. Stitched on some trim there. This was just a scrap of paper that I had left over. This is a blank tag for her to, pretty up. And then this is from Somerset Magazine, stitched on as a pocket. I love this book that I found at my library. stitched on another little pocket. Oh, besides the vintage ephemera, I think most what I used was from Seven Gypsies. This is a vintage, well, I don't know what it is. I got it as a freebie in one of my Etsy orders. And I just glued it to the top. Vintage envelope, some more vintage ephemera. I love this ledger paper with the blue and the pink. Oh, I really love it. Another vintage postcard. So lots of spot for her to journal. Vintage ticket. Graphic 45 coin envelope. And I put all vintage postage stamps throughout. This one's from a Prima 4x6 journaling pad, and I think it's the Archivist, and all of the back was like a dark color. She would have probably had to write in like a white pen, so I stitched my coffee dye paper to the back of these. Second signature, side pocket, envelope for her to tuck stuff. Vintage guest check. Music paper. Some Spanish book paper that I got from Marcy. Thank you, Marcy. This one came from Alicia. And I stitched the side of it there, added a vintage postcard. This came from an art journaling magazine. That's really pretty. I like that. Little journaling tag. I stamped this faux vintage envelope. This is a stamp that I got from Joann Fabrics. Some more little vintage this is a postage stamp, and then this one is a vintage Denison label. Seven Gypsies journaling card stitched on there. So I put lots of flaps, pockets. Tim Holtz ephemera. Oh, I lied. So this is fake ephemera. Don't judge me. I found it like on clearance. I love it. Perfect for those teen journals. Some more vintage ephemera. Or probably for like a mommy journal, actually. Not the teen journal. I have a newly minted teenager in my home. Oh my gosh, 13. Driving me crazy. This is a calendar that I backed with my coffee dyed paper. This came from a Red Rose tea package, so I like that. And I just tied it to the top where it has the holes. Another pocket. This also came from a art journaling magazine. Little vintage ticket. Pocket with some journaling cards. A little coin envelope, and I just put this picture of a girl as the flap to stop the flap. Or to secure it, I should say. Vintage ticket. I just sewed randomly on this page. Also from an art journaling page. This is a vintage flash card that I backed with tracing paper. So she can journal on that as well. Beautiful ledger paper. Side pocket with a inventory tag. Some washi. And then this is the last page, and this one is a vintage greeting card, and it's blank on the inside, which is nice because it's a huge spot for her to journal. And that is it, you guys. That's my journal for Lori W. I hope she likes it. I had a ton of fun making this journal. I haven't made a journal in a long time because I just didn't have time, and you know, my mojo was gone. I didn't know what to do, what to make. So yeah, it was great to make this one again. But I also wanted to mention I will be starting a like junk journal with me type series. You know, you guys, I've mentioned filling up my Newfoundland travel journal forever. I said that like a long time ago, but I will start that series. It's not going to be a talking series. It's just going to be, you know, process videos. Just you can listen to the music while I do my journaling, and or you know, mute if you don't like the music. So yeah, so I will be starting that soon. I have my Canon selfie out all ready to go for that, and I have my stash of junk there to put into my journal. So I hope you guys will come back to watch that, and thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.